Okay, Sean from the Manic Street Preachers is on the phone now. How are you today, Sean?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. And how's all the tour prep going?
Well, it's always hard work, long days, but it's not too bad. Pretty good.
Okay, well, you have got a big tour coming up at the end of the month, starting in Glasgow. What's it actually like on tour? What do you get up to from day to day?
Pretty much, sort of routine, it goes from hotel to sound check, try and make sure that everything works, play a few little, songs that, perhaps there are a few sticky moments on, just to try and iron those out. Back to the hotel, chill out to the gig, and, give, everything for that hour and a half.
Yeah. Has there ever been like a gig where it's all gone wrong at the start of the gig? You've had to try and change something, it's all frantic?
Yeah, I mean, there's always things, but you sort of, over the years, you've just learned to live with it, just in, sort of our launch, pre-launch album concert that we did at Hammersmith. We had a few technical issues, but hopefully over time you sort of, get round to sort of eliminating every possibility.
Okay, well, let's talk about the album. It's been likened to a greatest hits, actually. I've listened to the single, we play that on Banbury Sound. It sounds brilliant, and the title track as well, Postcards from a Young Man, is really good. Do you reckon the album's up there with some of your proudest work, Sean?
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, we've sort of put a lot of songs together to choose those 12 tracks. We're pretty much on top of our game. We're in our own studio now, which makes life a lot easier. I mean, 20 years and 10 albums, sort of musically, I don't think there's much more for us to explore. We've always, for us, it's always been about the 3.5-minute song, and trying to get everything into those 3.5 minutes, the sort of perfect, pop scenario.
Mm. Okay, so what would you term the album as? Now, Britpop is kind of a bygone genre. What would you term it as? To
be honest with you, we've never been part of anything, to be perfectly honest. We've always been on our own, whether it is in step with fashion or out of fashion. Manic Street Preachers is pretty much Manic Street Preachers. It's an eclectic mix of all of, Britain's musical heritage. Then, we've always drawn on pretty much everything there is, with a little sprinkling of ourselves on top.
Cool. Now, I know you're a keen driver. I've been reading about this. And I don't know where you lived and if you live in the country or whatever, but are there any good driving routes near you? Do you ever find the time to sort of sit back, take a break from the music, and enjoy a little drive from time to time?
I do. I mean, I'm fortunate enough there's a racing track near me.
Oh, superb.
So, that's always a bonus, and also there are really good karting tracks as well. But I'm, I've sort of, of an age now where I'm, far more relaxed behind the wheel than I used to be. So I don't tend to take out my aggression too much these days.
So is that what you'd like to do if you weren't a musician, if you weren't in music? A bit of a racer?
I'd like to think so, yeah, but I mean, at 42, maybe I should, sort of hang up my gloves and my helmet.
You have some driving gloves, do you?
Oh, yeah, I've got, helmet, gloves, suits, I'm a big fan of Sebastian Vettel.
Oh, you're into the Formula One this year?
Oh, yeah, and I love, Red Bull racing, so...
Right, okay. Who would you tip for the title this year?
I think Mark Webber. I mean, there was a time I thought Lewis would come through. I think maybe Lewis has lost the momentum. Really, Mark is the one who's got the momentum.
Right, okay. You need to get on there and show Lewis how to do it. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much.